Hello and welcome to my channel Nico Mag. My name is Nicole and this video will be about shooting film photos of architecture in Hawaii. If you're new here and like these type of videos, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So I will say this, if you're here for beach photos, you are clicking on the wrong video. I do have some other film photography videos that do showcase Hawaii's lovely beaches, so if you want to look at those will be in the description box. So in this video, I shot all the photos with my Olympus 35RC, which is a rangefinder, and the film I used is Kodak's 400 Tri-X, which is a black and white film. I normally don't shoot black and white film, but I thought for this particular video and while I was shooting, that black and white film would look really nice and give it that old school look, I guess you could say, because all the buildings are relatively on the older side. So in terms of buildings I will be photographing, I followed Docomomo Hawaii's chapters guide that they have online. So Docomomo stands for the documentation of the conservation of buildings, sites, etc. of the modern movement, and this is their Hawaii chapter. They have chapters all over the world, but in Hawaii in particular, a lot of the buildings do fall under modernism and mid-century. Even some brutalism is in Hawaii. So if you're into those different kinds of architectural styles, then this will definitely be a good video for you. I don't know all the architects of the buildings, but I do appreciate a nicely designed building, so I thought why not take some nice photos of it. So without further ado, let's get to it. So this is the Holiday Surf. I did believe it's an apartment building now. So a lot of the now apartment buildings in Waikiki, if they're on the older side and built during the tourist boom, I think of the 60s and 70s, a lot of those hotels were converted into apartments. So that's why they have these really like tropical vacation names like Holiday Surf, and they left the names on the buildings even though they're apartments now. What I really like about this one is that there's a giant whale painted on the side. I mean, that's like pretty unique, you know, and you'll definitely be able to remember where you live, if you know what I mean. So this is the White Sands Hotel in Waikiki. Honestly, if you took out that construction in the back, this would look like it was taken back in the day, because that hotel looks like it is from like the 70s when tourism in Hawaii was like really booming, even though it's still booming now. So this is the Waikiki Skyliner apartments. I always like driving by this because you can drive by this on the LOI, and I like the contrast between the dark material and then the vintage signage of Waikiki Skyliner next to the, I'm not sure what those called, those stone cutouts that were really popular back in the day. I don't know, I just think this building still keeps its charm in today's like current styles and stuff. I really hope that they don't tear this down, because I think it's really distinctive and like I think it's really iconic in a way. So this is the Shoreline Hotel, which is still a hotel to this day. I really like that lobby entryway in the front. It looks really cool, and even though this was built many years ago, I still think it looks really current in today's architectural styles. So this is the Waikiki Shopping Plaza in Waikiki. Honestly though, I feel like this is like a building you wouldn't picture being in Hawaii. When I look at this photo, I would have just assumed it was in like a city like Chicago or New York, but no, this is in Waikiki. So, I mean, it's not like the most exciting building, but it does have an older look, even without the film photo aspect of it. I don't know, it just seems like a type of building that I never would have thought would be in Waikiki, honestly. This is the Breakers Hotel, which is also in Waikiki. This is also by, I think, an Embassy Suites across the street. I like this hotel. I never stayed at this hotel, but I do like how it's very Asian inspired, but at the same time it's like tropical modernism. Even though it's like not like super fancy or sleek looking, I do like the older look of it, and I think it does have its charm still. So the building with the cool design in the front is the Waikiki Galleria Tower. This building is pretty iconic. It really stands out in the sea of all of the other tall buildings in Waikiki. I think it's really cool. It's one of my favorite buildings in Waikiki. I also like the circular building behind it with the view of the observatory in the back. I kind of wish those came back in style because I always thought those looked cool and were very space-like. So I do like the juxtaposition of the two buildings in this photo, and I think it's really cool. Here are more apartment buildings. I like the look of this apartment building because I feel like it really blends in architecture with the tropical environment of Hawaii. I think it just meshes so well together. And this photo is a little bit, I guess, underexposed because the building looks really dark, but in real life the building is actually kind of dark. But I kind of like that because I feel like a lot of buildings here are white because it's Hawaii and, you know, sun and stuff, but I do like the darker colors of the building.
Hello again, so new day today. I am at UH Manoa, or University of Hawaii Manoa. They have a lot of cool like modernism buildings here, so I'm gonna take some pictures and explore. Since I've never actually explored the campus, so I figured why not check it out, even though I have no desire to really go back to school at the moment. But I always like seeing college campuses because I feel like, oh, it's always cool to check out the different college campuses and stuff. So yeah, bring you guys along.
So this building is Saunders Hall, I believe. So I think the Department of Urban Planning and stuff is in this building. What I really like though is how ominous the black and white film gives a feel to the photo. I like how the lines of the building lead to that little box in the middle so it really draws your eye in. This is one of my favorite photos I took with this film during this film photography adventure. So I'm a sucker for these zigzag awnings, I guess you could say. This building was designed by a local architect back in the day. I think his name was Hideo Murakami, and he was from Hilo. But I still really like this building. I just really like the zigzag awning on it. So here is Kennedy Theater. This was also designed by IMK. It opened, I think, the year Kennedy unfortunately was assassinated, which I think is how and why it's called the Kennedy Theater. As you can see in this photo, I tried to center it, but because I shot with a rangefinder, it's not perfectly in center, but I still think the photo looks really nice. So this building is Jefferson Hall. This was also designed by IMK, and in the back is a Japanese garden. I think this building and the garden really complements each other, and even from the front that doesn't show the garden, I think it looks really nice, and it still looks good even in modern times. It's very clean, and it does have those east-west features since this is part of the East-West Center on UH Manoa's campus. Here is another photo of a building in the East-West Center. Still looks nice and clean, and I really like this photo. So this building is Hollywood Manoa. This was one of the buildings that IMK designed. It was and currently is a dorm, I believe, for students. I still think the building looks really nice, and this photo definitely looks like it was taken back in the day when this building was just brand new and just opened up. So that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!